Morning, welcome to the video. It's Monday the 18th of November. This week for the majority of my fortnightly cuts will be penultimate visits of the year. There'll be a few which are really quite leafy, which will need a little bit more just to get that leaves cleared should I say, but the majority of them are probably, this is second to last cut, as I say. Now, today's a little bit different from the usual sort of days. If you remember with my Canon Scarifier, they now do a number of cartridges which are absolutely fantastic. The only issue with it's a bit of a pain to change them. It's a little bit time consuming, and there's certainly a knack to it. If you noticed at, I think it was Groundsfest actually, they released the new mechanism, so you can just slide the cartridge in and then clip it into place. So that's all fantastic. So what I'm actually doing is I'm going to be dropping off my Scarifier and my cartridges to Trackmaster today to get that new, should we call it technology or mechanism, put onto my Scarifier, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. So that's going to just make it so much easier. So particularly sometimes when you go to a lawn, you need to just do a sort of a normal Scarify before you then put onto the renovation blades, or it may be that you want to just verticut the lawn, and you've come from a lawn which needed verticutting, and then you've gone to another lawn that actually needs scarifying, so you just want to quickly chop change the blades over. Now, what I've had to do this springtime in particular is when I've gone from one lawn to another lawn, to save time, because the weather being so bad, you haven't, a day when it's not raining is so precious. I've actually ended up taking two Scarifiers, one with maybe the verticuts on, one maybe the Scarifier, maybe one's got the renovation cartridges, completely depending on what I need. But it's just an extra bit of kit in the van, which takes up a lot of space. So by having this quick mechanism, it means all I need to do, there's the Scarifier and there's the two other cartridges. So you think of the room that's taking up compared to another machine. This is a really good invention. So yeah, I'm going to be running over to do that. So Friday I didn't get to work as I had the children off ill, as I said. The plan was to go into work on Saturday and basically do Friday on Saturday, but unfortunately there was a plane delay, whatever, so by the time my wife got back there was just no point in even trying to go, because by the time I'd actually got to a lawn, got set up, it would probably be getting dark. So unfortunately Friday didn't happen. It's just the way it is. So yeah, right, I will see you in a bit. Okay, so as you can see, there was no machinery in there because it's all been dropped off, and I shall wait to hear. I've also dropped the aerator off just for a couple of little mods to be done to it potentially, but again, they're just sort of thoughts that I've had, so we're just seeing if it can be made in reality. So I'm just doing a little feed now. This is a lawn you would have seen me aerate probably in September, so here it is, kind of towards the end of November, looking pretty good. So we're just going to do a light little autumn feed with some iron in there. There's a bit of disease about, so hopefully the little bit of iron will just be able to dehydrate it that little bit. So yeah, going to mix some stuff up now and then crack on. Hopefully the rain doesn't get any worse than this. It stays as it is, it should be okay. Okay, so this is the back lawn. Everything's been sprayed up, as I say. It's iron, pretty much iron, and just a little bit of feed. So it won't take long for the iron to show itself. Yeah, and that is pretty much it for today. I think it's about, probably must be about 3 o'clock now. So not a very busy day, but sometimes you get days like that, and particularly try and do this stuff in the autumn, winter time when I'm not too busy. But the changes that are going to be made to the machinery is going to be absolutely priceless, really, for saving time and ability to save room in the van and things like that. So it will all be worth it in the end. And this is a nice little bonus job, because this one, so this is a regular client. It was the gardener who spotted the disease on the lawn, and actually this is, although this is one of the furthest ones away from me,
I seem to say that a lot in videos, but then I suppose all the ones close to me, it's not relevant to say, oh, this one's just around the corner. But the ones, so this actually on my way home, it's only sort of a 5-minute detour to get here, so actually the timing of it worked out perfect. So yeah, so tomorrow's fortnightly mowing, normal Tuesday fortnightly mowing, and yeah, for I'd say half of them will be the second to last mow of the year. Some of them could even be last mow, but it's up to the client. What I will say is to the client, look, you know, you could have the Christmas mow if you want, but there's no leaves to collect, but you know, it just will stripe things up and make it look a little bit stripier for the festive season. From the conversations with those people, they seem pretty keen to have it done.
Okay, welcome to Tuesday. Not had the weather map out for quite a while, but we'll get it out now. So it was raining when I went to bed last night. It was raining when I woke up. I assumed it had rained all night, but judging from the map, it looks as though actually it hasn't rained all night, so that might be a blessing. When I woke up this morning, it was raining pretty hard. It's still raining a bit now, which is not ideal, but I kind of accept that this time of year it is the weather that you would expect, not constant rain during the summer. So today, fortnightly mowing, as I said, some of them may just be leaf clearances, depending. So actually, because of the wetness, that may be what it is. It may end up just being the leaf clearances instead. Doesn't really matter, because the mowing at this stage is just to sort of pick up the leaves anyway. There's still a final cut, and that would be looking to get some stripes down. So yeah, although however, looking at the weather map there, it looks as though some of this rain is going to turn into snow, then back into rain, so it's obviously not going to settle. It's going to be far too wet. Temperature is starting to drop that little bit. Looks as though for the rest of the week actually it's just going to be cold. My wife keeps telling me Thursday that there's a snow symbol, but I can't imagine we'll get anything down here, perfectly honest. It just hopefully will just be cold enough that it actually dries the ground up quite nice. But bearing in mind, you know, we haven't really had any rain for the last 2 weeks or so, so hopefully this isn't enough rain to sort of soften the ground up too much. So yeah, just going to get ready and then go up to the container and load up. Okay, so got the leaves done on that one. Just come to the next one, which is the two new builds. I sort of thought I wouldn't come in because it's too wet and maybe come back tomorrow, but as I was passing I thought I'd pop in, and I'm not going to cut, and this is why. So lots of standing water, so what I will do is I will pop back tomorrow where I think it's going to be drier. So classic new builds though. Awful drainage. Okay, so on to the next one. It's kind of stopped raining now. It's actually 1 degree, and it's been 1 degree all morning. You can still see the stripes from 2 weeks ago, which are still in there. So I think I'm just going to keep on that format and put them in a little bit more, because actually it looks pretty decent. Okay, so just edged, and now I'd call it sleet, but every now and again there's a little flake of snow falling. So we haven't got anything up like up north, but yeah, better get it cut quick, I guess. Okay, and stripes just stood out a little bit more. This is definitely the penultimate cut on this one. So I'll be back the last week before Christmas. Okay, these flakes definitely look a bit snowier than rainier, but it's too wet here to settle, surely. But anyway, today I don't think I'm going to cut
Just going to clear these leaves. Okay, so just another leaf clearance done. So had a bit of a interesting day. So got in the van this morning, put some stuff in down by the passenger footwell. Came back to find all the stuff wet, and it seemed as though by the seal at the top of the windscreen there was water, because it was obviously kind of like that sleety rain stuff just coming down, and obviously as you sort of went over a speed bump then loads of rain came down as well. So there's been a couple of lawns I haven't shown because I've sort of been trying to frantically get them done while on the phone. We went to a local windscreen place, auto windscreen place, and he pushed the windscreen, and he said the seal has, whether it's the rubber's hardened or whatever, but essentially the windscreen is not attached to the seal, and the water's basically coming off the bonnet and coming straight in. So he basically said we do work for people who are paying money, but normally everything is broken windscreens through insurance companies. So he gave me the number of somebody. He said, if you're, because there's nothing wrong with the windscreen, he said bring this guy. So this guy's given me his number. So anyway, rang him. He can't do anything till Friday. He said try another guy. Then another guy said he could probably do something, but that's in Staines, so that's, I don't know, 45 minutes away tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, trying to deal with all that and get this done. So I'm still going to probably run out of time. So there's the two I didn't do because they were too wet, and then there's two others that I'm just going to run out of time for. So I would have done them tomorrow, but they may be, at some point I'm going to need a gap this week to get the van fixed, because obviously everything's just getting soaked in there. So yeah, you think everything's going not well, but you think everything's going okay, and then it's just another issue, isn't it? But that is how it is, I'm afraid. What's annoying is trying to sort all this out while chasing the daylight. Okay, so it is Wednesday today, and we have had our first frost of the year. So I have a little bit of a dilemma. The issue is that yesterday, because of the faffing around and the wet weather and everything else, I ended up not doing the final two jobs. One of them was to give it a little, cut the grass. That was the new sort of, the one I did, and I cheated it all and everything. The plan was to cut that, penultimate cut, and then give it a little treatment, little iron, etc. And then another small one which is nearby. So the plan today was to do those two, then go to my usual Wednesday fortnightlies, which would essentially be leaf clearances. Maybe on the front gardens I'd be able to get the final cut in as well. However, with the windscreen as it is, it's like ice on the inside. I need to get it done. I can't have water just pouring in the cab every time it rains. Obviously it's not going to rain because it's cold. But that can't continue. So the windscreen people are coming out between 12 and 3. So the plan is to go off this morning, do the ones that I didn't do yesterday, and then come home for 12, and then wait in for the guys to come and do the windscreen. But with the frost, I can't really cut frozen grass. Also, even if it's just a leaf clearance, a lot of the leaves are going to be frozen to the grass leaf itself, so I'm not going to be able to clear them either. So I'm a little bit stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment. So I need to get some work done in the morning, but I probably won't be able to do it in the morning. Normally what I would do is just wait until it thaws out and then cut, but I can't do that because that's probably when I'm going to be needed when the van's going to be needed to be here. So we shall see. I have got a little bit of flexibility next week that I can get certainly the fortnightly ones done.
So that's not too much of an issue if I don't get them done this week. But obviously Friday I didn't go in, so because obviously I was stuck at home. So I need to get those ones done this week. That's a priority. So we should just have to wait and see. So it's, yeah, very difficult trying to get this all organised. But yeah, it is what it is. Fortunately, it's sort of, we're going into winter time, so it's not the end of the world. Um, just makes planning a little bit awkward because it's not just planning, it's planning and taking the weather into consideration. So yeah, right, well, I will report back when I know some more, but for the moment I think I'm just going to go on a school run because there ain't much else to do. Okay, so we're back on this lawn. This is a fortnightly, so we've got this one done. Windscreen's all okay, so this is striped up. It's also had a little iron treatment just to combat any moss that might think about coming in, although we've turned cold now. It's not going to be so much of an issue, but because it's been so wet sort of during the sort of the early autumn, it's been pretty favourable for moss, if I'm completely honest. Hopefully this cold spell's gonna, we've had a good couple of weeks of no rain and then this cold spell, so it's hopefully going to do the grass a bit of good actually. That's the front lawn, there you go. So yeah, so I got 2 lawns done, but the windscreen is now all solved. I'll just add a couple of photos now of what it did look like during having the windscreen out. Unfortunately it wasn't raining today because that could have been a nightmare. I'm sure he would have had some kind of gazebo, but yeah, right, so tomorrow, I'm just going to do tomorrow as a normal Thursday, and then I'll probably put the lawns that I didn't do on Wednesday onto Monday now, but there could be vertige raining going on, who knows. Anyways, right, see you tomorrow. Okay, morning. It's about 1 degree. As you can see, it's a little bit frosty, so I've actually been over that lawn with the blower, and those leaves were, when I blew it half an hour ago, all sort of frozen in. So I've cleared as much as I can there. I've cleared all the leaves around here, and then I've got my pile in here, or here if you prefer. So what I do is I just blow this up and just lose that up there. Just going to get the billy goat blower out now, and what I will do is use the billy goat on this pile here, and I'll show you how I'll do that, because if you can imagine, obviously with the handlebars and the blower, there's not enough room to be able to sort of zigzag up here. So it does come with an attachment, which means you can blow forwards, which is perfect for this job. Obviously the tennis court there, lots of leaves down. Going to blow those off, and then at the front of the house as well, there's quite a few leaves. So that's really the job here. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do at the second house of the day, and then third house will probably be leaves again. You can see now that the majority of the leaves are down, and I'd imagine that's partly due to the weather of the last couple of days, as it's turned now. So yeah, cold, but good. Nice to be working and not sitting at home waiting for people to turn up to sort the van out and everything else. And it's not raining, so that's great. I'll take a cold day over a wet day any day. Okay, there we go. Having just got the blower out, it started to sort of snow a little bit, I guess. Yeah, a little bit. I can't see it's going to come to anything though, to be honest. But yeah, on with the blowing. Okay, so as I say, the issue with blowing kind of up a tight space like this is you're trying to go back and forth, but also edge forwards as well, and that makes it quite difficult. Now, when you buy these blowers, they should come with a little shelvy thing like that, and this. So all you do is you just squeeze this rubber thing in like that, put it in, it opens up, clicks into place, and now all the air now goes forwards.
Obviously on the handle you can kind of adjust it a little bit, but equally you can just tip it down or tip it up depending on what you're blowing. So yeah, that is how you do tight spaces or tight alleyways. Morning, Friday, another frosty one. So as you can see, pretty frosty. So what I've done is I've just kind of gone over. So remember, I haven't been here for 2 weeks now. This is a weekly normally. So I've gone over with the blower. Those leaves which are still there are the ones which are frozen down, but these are the ones that I have been able to shift, and these are the ones from sort of just outside the driveway. So I'm just going to bag all this and take it down to the bottom. I've not even looked at the back garden yet, so who knows what situation that's in. It is a lot more shaded, so hopefully in it being shaded it will be less frosty, so the leaves will be able to move. Essentially that's all I'm going to do today, because it is marked for a little bit of an iron treatment, but obviously with the leaf being frosted I'm not going to be spraying anything today, and equally I'm not going to cut anything either, so it is just a leaf clearance, get it back in kind of some kind of shape, and then next week, if the conditions allow, I might do a cut and an iron. Depends on the amount of leaves that are down, but it may be that I just cut and iron the front and then just do a leaf clearance up the back, and then vice versa as we sort of go into December. Hey, so having taken a footage this morning, I realised I hadn't taken any more. And then this afternoon basically just leaves and more leaves, bearing in mind it's been 2 weeks worth of leaves that have fallen. I mean, this garden particularly here, I'll show you, I mean realistically the only leaves to fall are what's left on that oak tree there, which aren't much. So what I will look to do is get an iron treatment down on the lawn. It's still a bit frozen, you can't really see it in this light, but it's still a bit frozen in some places. So yeah, I've just done with the billy goat 2 hours of solid blowing right down into the corner over there. So that is so that's it. It's Friday, it's done, week's over. Monday will be making up for the work I didn't do on Wednesday. Tuesday, not sure. The job I've got penciled in I actually need the aerator for, which I don't have currently, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one, whether I get it back in time. But basically that house has got a summer house / office being built, so I said, well, there's no point in me coming in feeding and stuff like that. If you've got materials spread across the lawn, get that all done, and then once that's done, then I'll come in and do a little bit of work to the lawn. So we shall wait and see on that one, and then yeah, then Wednesday will be another penultimate cut, and yeah, it's the end of the season is very, very close, and I'll be honest with you, for the very first time I feel like I need it. I need a break. It's been a tough year this year, for various different reasons, but I feel like I need a break now. So we shall yeah, recharge the batteries physically and mentally, I think. But yeah, anyways, right, have a good weekend, and I shall see you on Monday.